Hey you guys, Siervana here. I wanted to discuss the UFO that has everybody talking, the one that occurred over California. As you know, there were several celebrities that put this up on social media. They put it up on Twitter. They were talking about it. And of course, CNN got a hold of this and all the major news networks. And suddenly everybody's talking about the blue UFO over California. And it wasn't shortly after that that the Navy came out and said, no, this is a part of a weapon that we're actually testing called the Trident II missile. What they neglected to tell you is that is a nuclear missile. But they did say that this was an empty missile. It wasn't armed or anything like that. So it was perfectly safe what they did, or so we think it is. Well, what's interesting about this launch is that, first of all, everybody freaked out about this when one day prior, this exact same blue halo showed up over parts of Texas. Several photographs were taken, and a person actually taped this event and put it up on a UFO blog. Well, the media never talked about that. They just were talking about the California situation. Well, back in September, on September 2nd, there was another one of these blue halos that formed over Miami. And this was actually linked to a rocket called the Atlantis Atlas V rocket that was sent into space with U.S. military intelligence surveillance monitors aboard. So there really seems to be a military element to these blue UFOs that are showing up over these various states. Well, over in China, they're having the appearance of these halos as well. We saw one of these form over China on November 4th. And some people have been thinking that there's the possibility of this opening of parallel dimensions. As the military explains, they're not portals, they're not parallel dimensions, they're weapons. They're sending weapons into space. And it appears it's not just the United States. China is also sending weapons into space. So what's going on? Why did the United States launch a test run, or so they say, of the Trident II intercontinental ballistic missile, and they sent it into space? What's the purpose? What's the reason for doing this? Why just a day prior did we see the exact same thing happen over Texas? Why 2 months prior did we see the exact same thing happen over Miami, when this Atlas V rocket was sent into space with military intelligence computers for the purpose of surveillance? There seems to be a lot of military movement into space. They're weaponizing space. What's the point? Why is there this rush to weaponize space? Well, I go back to the situation that happened just recently between China and the United States. It's kind of still ongoing, but these two countries were exchanging fire, if you will, at these chemical plants, where these chemical plants were basically exploding. And it was almost happening like every couple of days between the two countries. And it didn't seem to be mere coincidence that these were happening. Were these chemical plants being hit by space weapons? Are space weapons real?